Lieutenant.
I want to shake the hand that picked the $30 million ticket.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
How does it feel?
Great, just great.
Oh, I'll bet it does. Where were you, when you heard the news?
I was at home.
Oh, you were watching on the TV?
Well, TV, it was on, but fact is I wasn't watching it.
No.
No.
Really?
No. I was going over my bank statement. I wasn't paying any attention. I looked up when they called the number, and I said, golly, the number,
So you didn't see any of those boards that come out with the numbers on it?
No, I never saw any of them balls.
You didn't see them?
But they called the number, and I looked at my ticket. When they said it again, sure enough.
It was you?
It was me.
So what did you do? What did you say?
Well, I just sat there. I was stunned. Then I started yelling.
Yeah, so what did you say?
Wait, honey? That's my wife. I won. I just ran out of the den. I was yelling. Yeah. But she wasn't there.
No.
No, my son was
my
there.
Goodness.
I said, hell, God, boy, we kissed each other, hugged, cried a little bit. I said, sonny boy, your daddy is the luckiest man in the world.
Well, I could second that. Believe me, that's a hell of a story, believe me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode, the new season of the Columbo Confab podcast. I am Sean.
And this is Steve.
And today we're going to be talking about Death Hits the Jackpot. But first, news. Peter Falk is still dead. There is no Columbo.
That's dark, man.
There's not going to be a Columbo con this year. Nothing new to report. Sorry, everybody. What do you mean that's dark?
Well, I mean, obviously, never mind. Let's just move on to the actual podcast portion of this.
The podcast portion?
Yes.
What do you call
this? That makes no sense. I don't know. Just edit that out.
Okay. I'm not going to edit it out now. All right, so we're going to talk about Death Hits the Jackpot, starring Rip Torn as a
and not Rip Taylor, to my surprise.
Yeah. Although he would have been great in this. Starring Rip Torn, Betsy Palmer, and some other people whose names you don't know. Oh, Gary Kroger. And,
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he plays Freddy, the dead guy.
Which, by the way, did he not look like an older version of Daniel Radcliffe?
No.
I think so.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Interesting. I was thinking more along the lines of like Dr. Fleischman from Northern Exposure or Miles from the Murphy Brown Show, which I'm dating myself by knowing who that is. Okay. All right, so this actually starts off... This is probably the only episode where we meet the victim before we actually meet the murderer. Because the first 5 minutes of this is Freddy going to visit his soon-to-be ex-wife.
That cheating bitch. Anyways, yeah.
And it starts, it starts off pretty happily, too. It's like there's this cheerful music. And
Yes.
And it kind of threw me. I'm like, am I watching the right show? Am I
watching Full House? I mean, what's going on?
Exactly. And so she's in the other room getting ready for a date. And he's watching the TV. The lottery conveniently comes on. And he conveniently has a lotto ticket in his pocket. And he conveniently wins the lottery, and then quickly excuses himself, drives off, and then we're treated to a rendition of "I'm in the money, you're in the money."
This is a great setup though for Freddy. I just want to say off the bat, I really like Freddy. I think the last Columbo mystery we did, I think the victim was only alive for like 30 seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
In this case,
even less than that.
Like for the first 20 minutes of this episode, we get to know Freddy.
Yeah. And did you notice the last episode we did, we had a nephew killing his uncle. And this time we have an uncle killing a nephew. Coincidence?
Fascinating. But yeah, so Freddy wins the lottery. You kind of feel for him as he's writing down the lotto or circling his lotto numbers on his ticket. It was just, you just wanted to feel good for the guy. He was obviously down on his luck. He was not happily married. And And hey, if that happened to any of us, wouldn't you not want to give up half of, what is it, 30 mil?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a lot of money, though.
I would probably try to do something exactly like he does, which is go to his uncle, tells his uncle to claim the money, and then his uncle, who recently, played by Rip Torn, who recently is told by his broker that he's dead broke.
Yeah.
And so that gives that's a perfect motive for murder right there, I think. That is a really good motive for murder. And what's interesting about the rest of this is that pretty much all of the clues have to do with him mysteriously winning the lottery and Uncle Leon trying to cover it up. But we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Uncle Leon, as I like to call him here, he's not a very nice guy. So obviously he takes advantage of his nephew, which we're talking about with Freddy. But there was like one line that cracked me up immediately. Excuse me. Was when he was trying to sell some jewelry. He's like, "Oh yes, touch it, feel it." I'm like, "Oh, this guy's a little creepy."
And he's like, "It's from 1626, given to the Tsarina by your father." Like, what the hell kind of jewelry is this guy selling?
Yeah, no doubt. But it kind of reminded me of Pawn Stars.
Yeah. So Uncle Leon decides to kill his poor nephew Freddy.
Oh yeah, and poor Freddy. I mean, seriously, would you rather have paid half of that lotto, or everything in your life? I mean, it's just what a horrible mistake. And poor Freddy. I mean, like I said, I really liked the character, but as soon as he told his uncle, you could tell that was his death sentence.
Yeah,
that was it.
Well, I could tell because it's an episode of Columbo, personally. But
say again.
I could tell because it was an episode of Columbo.
Oh yeah, that too, obviously. but yeah, I think his uncle didn't intend to kill him. I think he intended to scam him somehow out of the money by talking about, well, you can invest it, and he starts saying, well, the best thing is I'll pay you out slowly over time. And when Freddy said, no, I need it all right now. I need it right now. I'm like, oh, dude, that was the worst answer. You signed your fate on that one. Yeah.
Interesting. This is a Halloween episode that did not air on Halloween.
Oh no.
Yeah. Although it's all in the game, the Faye Dunaway episode did air on Halloween. So Uncle Leon says that everybody thinks that he's won the money now because he's the straw man, and Uncle Leon.
I always thought one of the clues would be, and it didn't come to play, was why would somebody who's successful, who lives in a huge home, why would someone like that play the lotto?
You know what? That's a really good point. You're right.
And when somebody like Freddy, who's down on his luck, owes money, somebody like that would obviously want to come into some free fall of cash like that. So I thought that would be a clue, but no, never came up. But yes, so Halloween. What I remember from Halloween back in the 90s did not look like what the kids were dressing up for in this episode. They had some really nice Halloween costumes.
When did they show kids dressed up?
When Uncle Leon went to go murder the night of.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Going back just a little bit, did you recognize anybody in this episode so far from anything else besides Rip Torn?
No.
So the lady who plays his wife is an actress named Betsy Palmer, who played a character known as Mrs. Voorhees in Friday the 13th. Did you know that? Yeah, really? She was the mom. The killer, spoiler, I think the statute of limitations on spoilers of Friday the 13th.
Wait, this is which actress again?
Her name is Betsy Palmer. She was Rip Torn's wife in this.
Oh, wow.
I saw her, and I'm like, I can't get out of... What the fuck have I seen her in? She's no longer with us. Rip Torn is still with us. Everybody in this is still alive except for her. And, she played Mrs. Voorhees. And I couldn't place her. Like, I just freaking recognized her from something. And before we get into the murder, want to hear some fun facts about Rip Torn?
Okay.
So, Rip Torn really hasn't worked since Men in Black. He was indicted for a number of charges after he broke into, I think it was...
Killing his nephew?
Oh, no. He broke into something, I can't remember, it was a liquor store or a convenience store. He was intoxicated, he had a gun. And also, fun fact, you ever see the movie Easy Rider?
No, but I know of it.
Okay, so Jack Nicholson. Well, Easy Rider is about Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper are these dudes, these hippie dudes who do a cross-country motorcycle thing. And along the way, they pick up Jack Nicholson, who is a drunken lawyer. Well, Rip Torn was originally cast in the part. And it wasn't Jack Nicholson. And then he was fired, allegedly, after he pulled a knife on Dennis Hopper. Okay, so Dennis Hopper tells this story on The Tonight Show. I don't know who it is. If it was Johnny Carson or Jay Leno, I'm not sure. And Rip Torn turns around and sues Dennis Hopper for hundreds of thousands of dollars and wins.
Wow.
We're talking about almost $1 million he sued Dennis Hopper for. And that was, I don't know when that was, but it was, Dennis Hopper's been dead for a while, so obviously, yeah. So, yeah, Rip Torn has kind of a reputation, I guess you could say, for being very difficult to work with.
Well, what I recognize, I think the first time I became aware of Rip Torn was probably the Men in Black films.
He won an Emmy for the, what's it called? What show? I didn't write it down. The Garry Shandling show.
Was he in that?
The Garry Shandling show. No, it's on the tip of my tongue. There's some other show that he was on. It's a show about a guy who hosts a show. People are yelling it while they're listening to this right now.
Oh, yes. It is with, I can't think of the name either. It was on HBO or something like that.
Yeah,
Showtime.
Yeah.
He was like the producer or...
I can't until I see what it is.
Yeah, we'll come up with it after we're done recording, I'm sure.
I'm gonna look it up right now. This is when I edit. The Larry Sanders Show. Not the Garry
Larry
Sanders
Sanders
Show. Yeah. And fun fact, he is from Temple, Texas, which, fun fact about us, ladies and gentlemen, is sort of actually between where you and I are right now, Steve. It's on the way to Dallas. It's actually closer to Austin, and it's got the worst fucking traffic on I-35 right there. So,
really?
Which is interesting because he does have that kind of drawl that he lets out right here.
What kind of accent? I don't know if that's... I almost thought it was something maybe from Alabama or somewhere that part of the country.
Yeah. So, Halloween party. Come dressed as your favorite millionaire. And so then he decides... This is what I don't understand. So he dresses up as King George, complete with medallion. And just sort of before the party begins, sneaks out the back door and goes to Freddy's place.
Right.
Okay. Did you recognize this his apartment from anywhere?
It did look familiar, but no, I couldn't place it. Is it in another Columbo episode, though?
Yeah, it was in Undercover. It's the opening shot of Undercover,
yes,
where those two guys kill each other over the... It's not
the only thing that this episode has in common with Undercover, but we'll get to that.
Okay, so Uncle Leon goes to visit nephew Freddy in his spacious studio apartment on his paupers.
Before we get to the actual murder, can we rewind just a few scenes to where Freddy, he's about to eat his tuna sandwich with champagne. Mm-hmm. We find out, by the way, that Freddy's an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, who the hell buys $500 worth of or $500 case of champagne? Like, I could see a bottle, but honestly, I mean, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's be honest and serious about this. If Freddy would have won that lotto, he would have snorted and drank that money away probably in 10 years. Honestly, come on. I mean, he had an addiction issue, but let's talk about. So he's about to drink his champagne, and I guess he doesn't lock his door,
Oh, yeah.
Because then the hippie bunch comes tumbling in for unknown reason. Like, are they all listening to Freddy? Like, oh, Freddy's home. Let's go harass him. And then for a split second, and I thought my eyes deceived me, I said, was that a fucking monkey that just ran in? And I'm like, surely not. And I'm so glad that wasn't a one-time thing, because actually the monkey becomes very important later. I'm like, are they setting up a sitcom? I mean, why are all these they have the fat white guy, they've got the hippie poem reader girl, they've got the cute blonde, they've got the old Italian mother with her old son speaking.
He's dead, by the way. I forgot to mention he died.
Who?
The son, the Italian son. Okay,
so the second thing in common with Undercover is the old Italian woman.
Oh yes,
she was the wife. The sister of the. Is that right? I know. I think
it's when Columbo's playing a Dawn.
He's playing a Dawn. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, that is right. Yeah. And as you point out, we have Columbo speaking Italian here, yet he doesn't know Italian. What was it, the one that you pointed out? Oh, that's right. It was Etude in Black, where he asks Blythe Danner, what was that called? What does that mean? And she has to tell him because it was an Italian word that he didn't know. So, but yeah, I just found his neighbors very annoying. Like, they were like from some really bad TV show, and
yeah, this whole thing had like an 80s, early 90s sitcom feel to it up to this point too.
Yeah, and they even show at one point while they're watching his uncle, get the big cardboard check on TV. The chimp is even drinking champagne. Like,
yes, what the hell?
there's zany shenanigans.
Let's talk about this. So it was the old fat guy that was the owner of the monkey, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, at one point, while everybody's drinking champagne, the monkey's like in the background making a mess.
Uh-huh.
Not the kind of mess you think monkeys normally make, but he's just going through like magazines and stuff. And
yeah.
Throwing things in the air. And the guy says, Freddy says, "Oh, do you mind?" And the guy says, "Oh, he's not bothering anybody."
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck you and your monkey!
And I'm thinking, I hate parents like that who have kids. They let their kids run wild, and you're thinking, what the hell? Oh, he's not bothering anybody. Yeah, he's bothering me and everybody else.
You know what bothers me is people who have monkeys as pets. Okay. This bothers me on a number of levels.
How many people have monkeys? If you have a monkey as a pet, ladies and gentlemen, please email us and let us know what that's like. And do you say shit like that? He's not bothering anybody. He's just throwing his feces at you. Not bothering anybody.
Did you know that way back in the day, like in the 50s and 60s, you could order a monkey in the mail?
No.
This is a true motherfucking thing. So, like in the back of a comic book, like where you'd find the ads for like.
Are you talking about sea monkeys?
No, a real motherfucking monkey. Like in the back of a comic book or a kid's magazine, it would be order your monkey, and you'd send $25 off to someplace, and you'd get a real motherfucking monkey in the mail.
And not a chimpanzee, surely.
It was a spider monkey. It was not a chimpanzee. Yeah. And of course, a lot of people didn't. I read about this. This is an actual thing, and people say, yeah, we ordered ours. It came back. It came to us. It was sick and it died in a week, or it was really mean, or we had a friend.
They tried to eat my face.
Yeah. But okay, so these people living in this horrible, horrible apartment house, which looks like it. I don't know. It looks like a crime scene from CSI, this apartment. Well, it was a crime scene in Undercover, but there's an implication that they're all starving artists. I mean, we've got Freddie the photographer. We've got one guy's a musician. I think the Scottish guy with the monkey is I don't know, I don't know.
It's got to be some kind of porn thing. It has to be.
But why? Okay, first of all, the fat guy, Scottish guy with the monkey. First of all, he's got a fucking monkey. Okay, they're really...
And is the monkey wearing a kilt, by the way?
Yes! Yes, because he's Scottish.
I wasn't real sure about that. I thought my eyes were deceiving me. I wasn't.
Yeah. So he's got a fucking monkey. Okay, monkeys are. There's a reason that the only person you know of probably that had a monkey is Michael Jackson. They're expensive and they're a pain in the ass and they're unpredictable. And
they'll eat your face.
Yeah, they will. They could. They are vicious animals and they are not supposed to be tamed. Well,
that happens.
Vicious.
No, that's a
yeah.
About 5, maybe 10 years ago, I think it was on Oprah Winfrey. This lady who was at one of those, it was not a zoo, but a place where they would a place where they would take old pet monkeys, and just kind of like let them die. Not purpose, not.
But take care of them until
care of them. Yeah,
they were neglected and they wanted to take care of. Yeah,
right. It's one of those places. But this lady was helping out, like cleaning cages and feeding them. One of the monkeys ripped off her face, and she had to have a face transplant. I mean, the damn thing ripped off, ripped her eyeballs out, bit her nose off, ripped her ears off her skull. I mean, they're vicious little MFers.
Yeah, I'd be terrified. If anybody walked into a room with a monkey, I'd be like, keep it away from me.
Yeah.
Like, as if it was a rattlesnake. I don't want to have a fucking monkey. Would you monkey sit for me? No, go to the Italians down. They can monkey sit for you. Okay, so yeah,
it was a creepy looking monkey too. I'm just going to say it was creepy looking.
Yeah, and of course
that monkey has seen some perverted things.
Did you think? Now, okay. Also, it's. Freddy's apparently is really good friends with all of his neighbors. They're like a hippie commune practically.
Yes.
Yet he's newly divorced. How quickly does he get to know all his neighbors?
It's so funny because in my notes I wrote hippie commune.
Yeah. It's like an artist's colony. So, yeah, Scottish guy, he has a fucking monkey. And he's wealthy enough that he can go on vacation to Cancun, conveniently.
Yes, that's right.
So Freddy can babysit the monkey.
That's why I think it's porn money.
What did Freddy have in the back of his apartment? Did you notice that he had like it looked, I guess he did it for taking pictures, like a set of like a beach? Did you notice that?
No, I didn't notice that.
He also had a tombstone that said R.I.P. Freddy.
Interesting. I noticed that at the wake, but I wasn't.
Yes, it was at the wake. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's creepy.
Sorry.
So yeah. Also, we get a big clue here. When Freddy goes back to get more champagne, you see that he's covering up a brochure for an expensive car, which I'm wondering if that was the same car that Nelson Brenner had from Identity Crisis.
Well,
it looked the same to me.
I don't know. We had that nice person that emailed us and told us what car it was. It starts with a C. Sipper. Yeah, I don't remember.
In the dealership, did you think Columbo was going to go under the hood and start monkeying around? Yeah. Do you have a wrench? No.
Yeah. They cut that scene short, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
And that was the episode, if I remember correctly, Sean, where he goes under the hood of a Bentley, right?
Yeah.
And Tyne Daly was in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Should we talk about how much we love her? Because I think we bring her up at every episode. It's a little strange.
So I have to ask you this. I want to go back to the monkey. I want to ask.
Aren't you glad I said go back a few scenes? I could not pass up the monkey.
Oh, God,
who doesn't love a monkey?
Having never seen this before, did you at any point think, the fuck is that monkey in this for?
Well, no, I'm serious. When the monkey ran into the room, I wasn't really sure what, because I'm writing notes as I'm watching, so I'm not, giving 100% attention viewing wise. And I honestly, I wasn't real sure what I saw. And thankfully it cut to the monkey real quick. I'm like, holy shit, there was a monkey.
But when the monkey's there again, of course, when Freddy gets gets killed.
It's what? It's horrible. Boo.
No, no. What do you mean, boo?
You said Freddy gets fingered, so
there's a movie called Freddy.
I know that.
With Rip Torn in it. Rip Torn is in
He's
that
in
movie.
that?
Yeah, because if you look up his IMDb,
I did not.
like the
I never
second
saw.
thing after Men in
I
Black.
don't want to see that movie. Had no interest to see that movie. Okay, so I did not know Rip Torn was in that as well.
It's just a funny coincidence. I haven't thought about that movie for 15 years, and so Uncle Leon go.
Well, so yeah, Uncle Leon he's given the lotto ticket to his uncle. This Freddy has. They have a contract that they sign, which is also going to play a role. I don't know what the contract would have entailed.
That he would pay him the $35 million.
I know, but would that have been, could he have taken him to court? Because then he would have. I don't know if that.
Yeah, of course.
Without standing in court. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So So Uncle Leon goes on TV. He accepts the big cardboard check, and I love like the scene after that. So it's the next morning. All his family and friends and all these charity organizations are all calling because now they want money. And I always thought that, like, if I ever won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody. I wouldn't want anybody to know it was me.
Yeah,
because I bet all of a sudden I'll have relatives, all new best friends and stuff. But anyway, so his daughter wants a new sports car. He proves that. Secretary says, "What about the Society for Homeless Pets?" Pass. And so she names off all these charities. Pass. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. What's interesting here is that it's almost half an hour. It's interesting. We're almost half an hour into this podcast, and we haven't even gotten to the part with Columbo in it. It's like half an hour until the murder, before the murder is committed, and Columbo comes on the scene.
I wrote it down, actually. I was watching it because I was kind of curious because it seemed like it was a really long time. The first scene with Columbo doesn't begin until 32 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow.
Something like that. It's a little over 30 seconds, but yeah.
I bet you that is a record.
Well,
I'll bet
definitely.
you that's a record. Yeah. That is such a record that I'm almost surprised that they didn't do like a little bit with Columbo at the beginning like they sometimes do. You know, like the Basset Hound show, the Basset Hound thing that he does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Uncle Leon goes to on Halloween during the party, slips out. And by the way, when he slips out of the party, no one notices that he's missing all that time.
I don't know.
Like his wife isn't like looking for him. I don't know.
She's drunk. Well, and let's put it. Also, the wife wants to celebrate, so she wants to do a party, and so they decided to do a Halloween party. And obviously, I think Leon is setting this up to be the opportunity to kill his nephew. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a nice party. He had a champagne fountain. That was nice.
But yet they served Cutty Sark scotch. I don't know why I notice things like this, but as he's walking through the kitchen, you can see that there's several bottles of Cutty Sark on the kitchen counter. Huh. That is like, if you're going to serve scotch and you live in a house like that, you're not going to be serving Cutty Sark.
Well, Sean, that's how millionaires keep their money. They don't. Yes. They spend other people's money, not their own. Did you know that?
Well, all I know is that one Christmas, they didn't have Johnny Walker at the liquor store in Chicago, so I got Cutty Sark instead, and I got really drunk and hungover on it. And after that, I will never drink Cutty Sark again.
Good to know.
Anyway, yeah.
And they also had Coke. There's a lot of product placement. The Coca-Cola.
Colgate.
I did not see Colgate.
Yeah.
Panasonic. We had a Panasonic camera. They zoomed in on the Panasonic camera. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah. That's how they were able to afford the monkey, because they had...
Yeah, how many it's just, I'm sure, I wish I would have kept a running count of how many product placements there were in this particular episode, but it did seem like a lot.
Yeah. So he goes to Freddy's place, and you gotta give Freddy some credit. He may be like a drunk and a loser, but at least he decorates his apartment for Halloween. Did you notice that?
He did. Even though there's no kids going up to that apartment. He had the monkey. Could you imagine? Wouldn't that have been awesome? If, as a kid, you go trick-or-treating and the guy's handing out candy. Well, one, the monkey would have eaten all the damn candy by now. So,
Steve, I hate the monkey. I hate it.
You... Little Sean knocks on the door, trick-or-treat. And then some strange man opens up the door. There's a monkey in diapers going in a kilt. You go running off.
It's another thing. That monkey, that monkey would tear that place apart. It would pull down the bunting. I'm sorry. It's like having a 2-year-old around. They want to grab every...
I want to know when the Irish guy, was he Irish?
I think it was Scottish.
Oh, Scottish.
But don't quote me on that. I'm not sure.
So when he goes to Cancun, did he have to like when you leave your pet with somebody, you go on vacation, you're like, okay, you got to feed Shada at 12 o'clock and then 3 o'clock when you get home, whatever. Did he go, okay, this is how you change its diaper? I think at that point I'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Yeah, I don't wanna look after you.
I can't help you. I'll feed it, but I'm not doing the diaper thing. I'm sorry. Yeah,
fuck your monkey. Anyway, can we just stop talking about the monkey? So I'm just trying to talk about the murder now. So Uncle Leon shows up at Freddy's place. The monkey's there. That's all I'm going to say about the monkey for now. And hits him over the head with a bottle of champagne. And I'm sorry. Yes, this isn't supposed to be funny, but when Freddy falls down unconscious, when he lands, there's like 4 empty beer cans on the ground by where he lands, as if he like sprawled down drunk or something. But
there's a lot of beer cans in this apartment. Well, and can I just say something real quick? So once Leon knocks Freddy out with the champagne bottle, the Leon starts, taking off his clothes, and the monkey is jumping up and... I'm sorry, I'm bringing up the monkey. The monkey starts violently jumping up and down. I'm thinking, is this going to be a 3-way bestiality gangbang? I mean, what's going on?
God. Oh, my God. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are.
I said Freddy's taking off his clothes. No, Leon's taking off his jacket.
I can't say Freddy got fingered, but you can say bestiality with a monkey. My God.
Well, what do you call it with the monkey then?
Stop talking about the monkey! I've had it with the fucking monkey! This is why people say we have problems with the volume on the show. Because
really?
You make me angry, you make me yell. Anyway, okay.
So Leon, I guess, is going to make it look like an accidental drowning in his bathtub.
And he puts Freddy in the bathtub, and then Freddy wakes up.
Yeah, that was dark, man. I was not expecting that.
That wins the prize for the most graphic murder that we have seen, probably, on Columbo. I mean,
really?
What kind of there's one that's a little bit more graphic, but what kind of a person are you if you are able to just hold your nephew's head under the water till he drowns?
That's absolutely horrible. Yeah, and so the biggest shocker, by the way, is the very next scene, and this one got me. Was when when I don't remember his wife's name, or
Nancy.
soon to be ex-wife, Nancy. Yeah. So Leon is getting dressed back up. He's done the deed. He's looking at himself in the mirror, but you see that Nancy's pulled up to the apartment, and she's walking up the steps, and you're thinking, oh shit, she's gonna bump into him as he's leaving, or she's going to be a suspect to him leaving the apartment. She opens the door, she sees Leon in the mirror, and I'm like, oh fuck, he's going to kill her. Cause there's no talking at all. They're just staring at each other, eyeing each other down. Obviously, she sees something that little Joey is bouncing up and down on the door. Something has happened in there. And you're thinking she's putting it together, and they kiss.
Yeah,
I was shocked. I didn't see that coming.
It was a nice twist.
Yeah, it was.
It was a very
great twist. Yeah.
And of course, she's the alibi because she calls him at home a little while later while he's entertaining guests, which are conveniently being videotaped. as they're walking through the door, which never gets brought up again, yet the camera seemed to linger on that for a while.
Yeah.
I don't maybe
placement.
there was something, yeah.
Yeah.
So, finally, Columbo comes on the scene.
Yeah, so 32 minutes and 30 some odd seconds later, we see Columbo, and he looks like he's comforting a pretty young lady, but no, he's comforting little
fucking monkey. All right, okay, fun fact, I actually saw this episode the last time was maybe about a year or so ago when my parents were visiting, and my dad wanted to watch Columbo, so I put this one on. And I bought a back scrubber because of this.
So you're talking about what it was like to use a back brush.
You know what? I hardly ever use it. I kind of forget to use it. I don't think my back is that clean. Anyway.
That's an interesting aside that you had there.
Yeah.
So
when aren't they interesting, Steve? When are they not interesting?
I want to talk about Columbo's glasses. What is going on with his glasses? What's the thing that's on the left side of the rim?
It's a safety pin.
Why?
Because he broke the glasses, and instead of using one of those little screws to put them back, he safety pinned it.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a subtle ha, you know. But I like that he has glasses. That's pretty cool. As someone who has to wear glasses like that now myself, I appreciate it. You know?
Yeah. And this is when, he finds out two major clues in this one. One, little Joey, the monkey, if you're not keeping track, is a pickpocket. And two, we see that Freddy has a bunch of photos. And so, yeah.
Well, no, though he has a bunch of photos, and,
then
they're
he
all
sees
of the monkey.
Yeah, all the monkey pointing at like the gold earrings. It looks like he was going to rip that earring out of that woman's ear. That's not cool, man. That's a permanent.
If I was a lady in that picture, I'd be like, "Get your fucking monkey off of me! I don't want your fucking monkey." Anyway, so.
But yeah, and he also sees the brochure to the dealership.
Right. Yes, that's right.
And he's like, well, why would... If Freddy's having problems buying, or paying rent and buying food, whatever, and he's looking at a $175,000 car, that doesn't make sense. And that's a very good clue. Obviously, he's thinking he's got money all of a sudden.
Yeah. And as also the Magnum of Champagne as well. So there is this one scene I wanted to ask you if you noticed this. We cut to Uncle Leon's, dress up as a millionaire party, and
wait. So I've noticed in the newer Columbo episodes, whenever we see him in his car, they decide to add the backfire sound effect. I never noticed. I don't notice that in the older original stuff.
It's more. They use a lot of Foley stuff with the car. There's a lot of creaks and bangs and stuff with it. I don't know. Did you know? That reminds me. I should probably talk about this. We have a Facebook page that just serves to notify the 20 people that have liked it that there's a new episode out. Somebody posted on it the other day, and I forget the gentleman's name, but he posted a BBC interview that Peter Falk did back in 2005, I think. And fun fact about that car, after they ended the show in the 70s, and they wanted to start it again, they went back and looked for the car. There were two cars. They obviously looked the same. And one car was gone, and they actually were able to salvage the other car that they used. So the car that we see in the 90s episodes is actually one of the same cars that they used in the 70s episodes.
Huh.
So, but I just want to thank the gentleman because it was a very recent episode of something from the BBC because they interviewed Steven Spielberg about Ready Player One. Yeah. And the last question that they ask him is, would Al Pacino make a good Columbo? and Steven Spielberg says, oh, yeah, he'd be good. I directed the first episode of Columbo. And then they cut to this old interview of Peter Falk. So, yeah. Fun fact about that. And that's also a plug for our Facebook page if you're interested.
Very good.
Anybody? Yeah.
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
So everybody thinks Columbo is because you have to be a millionaire to get in. I love that when he sees that sign, he just kind of blows it off.
Yeah.
Wait,
I do want to ask you something. Did you see Colonel Sanders?
Yes.
At the party?
Yeah.
Did you see who Colonel Sanders was with?
No. Who?
So Colonel Sanders was with a lady dressed up like a chicken.
Oh.
And she was walking like a chicken.
Of course.
And it was a really awkward and creepy. Like the chicken lady from Kids in the Hall, if you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. I'm sorry, continue.
So everybody sees Columbo and they think, oh, he's in costume. He's here, Howard Hughes. He's an eccentric millionaire or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, that joke, I don't think that looks so bad. I don't mind it every so often, but I like his outfit. I just, the constant teasing and making fun of it. I don't know.
I agree. I agree. It wasn't funny at this in that part. It was like, it wasn't subtle enough. Like if he's mistaken for a homeless person, that's funny.
Which again is in Undercover, that was legitimately funny when the nun says, "Oh, poor brother, yes, we'll."
Oh no, that's a negative reaction you're thinking.
That wasn't in Undercover?
Yeah. How could you get those two confused?
Oh God, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, that was a little bit too much hitting you over the head with, "Hey, he's dressed up in a rumpled raincoat. Isn't that something? Wow, zany." Yeah.
Oh, so Columbo, after he interviews and tells Leon that his nephew's dead, which Leon puts on a nice little, he's got to fake the tears, and Leon's like kind of laying out a course for Columbo by saying, "Oh, he was a bad drinker, he couldn't control himself," and I like that once Columbo sees that he's crying, he's like, "Okay, sir, I'll let myself out." So he closes the door, and then Leon looks up, and he's obviously not crying, and he's thinking about his next step. I honestly thought Columbo was going to open the door back up and say, "One more thing."
Me too! I totally thought that too. That would have been perfect. Yes.
Like, that would have been a good clue that Columbo doesn't quite believe him,
Yeah. So Columbo goes to the lingerie shop where Nancy works. Nancy, the soon-to-be ex-wife of the dead man.
Yeah.
And he learns that they're selling lingerie there for $425, and he's just so flustered by that fact. And she tries to she doesn't even try to push it on him that much. He just seems kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of embarrassed to be there. I don't know. Yeah. Like, it's my wife, me and my wife. It's our 25th
Does that come with the peignoir? Or no, he doesn't. Does he call it the peignoir? No, she.
What is this? This cape here? Oh,
cape.
well.
And then she says, "Oh, it's a 25th anniversary. Well, you should probably buy him silver." Which clue number? I'm not counting the clues, but it's another important clue.
It is?
Yeah. Because
she's silver. Okay.
Because she's wearing a silver bracelet, and where'd she get it from?
Oh. Wait, is that a legitimate clue? Does he actually ask that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, it gets brought up. He notices that.
That's interesting. I never even realized that. And Leon being a jeweler,
Mm-hmm. But,
okay.
But yeah, and so Columbo's like, "Well, how much is the sterling silver?" She goes, "Oh, about $200. And so he starts adding up. So 200 plus $425. And poor Columbo, he doesn't have that kind of money.
Yeah, he's like, "Well, I guess I'll have to think about it."
And we find out later he ends up taking her camping.
Jeez. That's what he was thinking. We don't even know what he gave her. Anyway.
Well, if it's real.
Yeah. So he tells the wife about the death. Wait, does he? No. She explains that she heard about the death from Scottish guy with the monkey. That he called her from Cancun. Like, who would do that? Your neighbor is dead, so you call his soon-to-be ex-wife to let her know. Who does that? I don't know. I would leave that to the uncle, maybe? I don't know.
So yeah, so Columbo then follows back up with the uncle, goes to the jewelry store, which now he discovers, he's the guy that won the lottery on TV.
He gets so excited, too.
Yeah, he does. Oh, I gotta tell the wife.
What were you doing? Oh my gosh, really? Oh boy. Yeah.
So we discussed the watch. So during the murder, Leon purposely cracks the crystal on the watch to stop it so they would have a time of death. Which was like 2 hours. He like moved the watch forward a couple hours, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So because he'd obviously be at the party, that would be his alibi. So he's talking about the Lesueur 2600.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like very special. It looked like a watch you could buy at Walmart, to be quite honest. But
it did.
What do I know? I'm not a jeweler. But
I don't know how many times there are broken watches in Columbo, but that seems to be Columbo Murderer 101. Break a watch at the scene of the crime to establish an alibi for yourself.
So does breaking the crystal, will that stop a watch?
No, what stopped the watch was that the crystal was broke, and maybe it wasn't because it wasn't waterproof. Wait, no. Wait a minute.
I'm not real sure what stopped the watch.
Leon stopped the watch by smashing it on the bathtub.
Yeah, because he thought it was waterproof. Yeah, he thought it was waterproof. So
right.
So he wouldn't have thought the water would have stopped it.
And that's a clue because Freddy wore the watch. The real Lesueur was waterproof, and Freddy wore the watch in the bathtub.
The fake one. Yeah, and this was a great scene, by the way. So Columbo tells Leon, well, why would he wear the watch in the water if it's not waterproof? And he goes, what do you mean? And he says, well, that wasn't a real Lesueur. And then, so you're thinking that he's about to blame, or at least Leon's thinking he's blaming giving his favorite nephew, quote unquote, a fake. He said, why would I do that? He got really upset by it.
Yeah.
And he's and Columbo's like, oh no, you misunderstand. What I think he did is pawned off the Lesueur so he could have some money, and then got a fake knockoff so it wouldn't hurt your feelings. And that to me, Sean, when he said that, I'm like, that is terrible. Obviously, he cared about his uncle very much, thought about his feelings, didn't want to hurt. That, he needed the money, but didn't want to hurt his uncle's feelings by always wearing this watch around him, make it look like, he kept this precious gift that he always wanted. And I think that hit Leon too at that point.
Yeah.
And I think he was surprised by that. And here he violently murdered his nephew, and his nephew thought so much of him. It was really kind of depressing.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I never thought of it that way, but you're right. But the fact that he had the watch on seems to indicate that, therefore, somebody must have put his body in the tub, because Freddy would have known that the watch wasn't waterproof. But if the watch is waterproof, how many people would wear their watch in the shower or the bathtub anyway?
I don't know. I haven't worn a watch in years, so
Neither have I. But I wouldn't wear it in the shower or the bathtub if it was waterproof. Wouldn't you just feel weird? I mean, when you're naked, do you feel comfortable with a watch on? I'm just saying. I don't know. It's a good clue, though, and it's a good scene. I agree.
Yeah. So this is at this point, in my opinion, by the way, we usually ask this at the end, but in my point, this is when I feel Columbo suspects Leon after that scene. But Leon is decided he's got to go talk to Nancy because now he feels the heat. He knows Columbo suspects him. And Nancy says, oh yeah, I've already dealt with him. And he's so cute too, or something like that. I'm like, what? Why is that a thing? Why is that even being brought up? Does she have a thing for older men? I mean, what's going on here? Does Peter Falk want to turn Columbo into a sex symbol? What's going on?
Maybe. I forget the order of things at this point, after the murder, because there's a number of conversations, of course, that Columbo has with everybody. But there are some really good scenes between Leon and Columbo. And there's some really good clues in there. But after their initial meeting, they meet again in Leon's office. and I think Columbo leaves and comes back twice. And it's the scene where he reveals about the car, and why if he didn't have any money, why did he want to buy this car, and so on. And speaking of the car, we were treated to a very brief scene of Columbo pulling up in front of the dealership in his old beat up car, of course, and he's trying to open the door. Yeah. So he opens the door by putting he has to open it from the outside, so he has to put his hand through the window, and then when he closes the door and gets out, he says to himself, or he says to the guy watching him, he goes, "I shouldn't do that when it's sunny." I don't know what that means.
I think because it expands, or I don't know. Yeah, there's a backfire sound effect in that scene too.
Yeah, they really got to tone it down with the backfire sound effects.
Well, they can't do anything about it now, but.
Well, when this comes out in a special edition...
Oh, you wanted to mute that part out? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. When I'm going to, yeah. And also I'm going to put in special effects. I'm going to put in like woohoo sounds and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I hope Universal Pictures doesn't hire you to make these special editions. So, so the next scene is Columbo at the funeral.
Okay.
Columbo loves going to the funerals, which hey, that's probably a really good technique for someone who's trying to solve a mystery or a murder or something. But so he's around asking questions, and I love the fact that Nancy is trying to turn on Leon at the funeral by licking her lips and blowing kisses, and that's so creepy. With
his wife standing right there.
Yeah, she even says something about it, doesn't she? Like, why is Nancy here? That's so distasteful, or something like that.
Why? What's so distasteful about that? I remember that too. What in the world? So you go to your dead ex-husband's? I don't know. So
and so Leon says final words. I like how he ends the funeral. Ends his little speech by saying, "So long, old buddy."
Oh, and we're also treated to a scene of Leon and Nancy making out in a hotel room, which I felt a little bit uncomfortable about. I don't know why. But the hotel room had a slight resemblance to the honeymoon suite in No Time to Die. Did you notice that? Yeah.
No, but that's interesting. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So, there's the only people at the funeral are the hippie neighbors.
The hippie commune. Yeah.
Leon and his wife and the ex-wife. Yeah. That's it.
And I love the... so this is when Columbo gets to speak Italian to the old Italian mother. And she's complaining. Like, what is he doing? What a strange face. And just being mean. And after he ends up talking to them, because he wants to just ask them a few questions, she's like, "Oh, you're Italian." And he responds back. And now she loves him. Mm-hmm. She goes, "Oh, you need to ask if he's single, because see if he'd be interested in dating or your niece or whatever." And the son says, "She's 58 with piano legs." I don't think so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Piano legs.
What are piano legs?
I don't know, but that did make me LOL.
Piano legs.
Gosh, if I had $1 for every time there was a funeral scene in Columbo, I'd probably have like $12. But yeah. I guess it makes sense. When you kill somebody, there's going to be a funeral afterwards. But anyway.
Well, that's a great place to, I think, you see who shows up, how people react.
Yeah.
Are they crying? Are they blowing kisses?
So are they yelling at their stepmothers and telling them, "I knew you killed him,"
right?
Like in that other one. No, it wasn't that. It's, "This is what you want, right?" Anyway, okay. So Columbo goes to Freddy's studio apartment, his spacious studio apartment, where they're having a quote unquote wake, and he just walks in there, and they're singing, "Where have all the young girls gone? long, long time ago.
Yeah, what a weird song to sing at a wake. Maybe that was Freddie's favorite song. I don't know.
And also, it technically was not a wake because it was after the funeral. So.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, so wakes cannot technically happen after.
Can they? I didn't know if that's a. I'm not an undertaker. Or a funeral parlor. What do you call those people?
So Columbo's like messing around in the background while they're talking and remembering Freddie, and that's when he, he notices the expensive case of champagne, buried under all the beer cans, and then he notices the photos where the monkey is seemingly wanting to grab at any kind of gold medal, and so he. Oh, and that's also when he picks up the camera. Now, at first, I thought the clue to the camera was going to be that there was going to be a film roll in there with him taking a picture of the lottery ticket. That's because that's what I would have done. I would have taken a photo as insurance. So I thought that would have been it, but no. What it was on the lens, which I didn't know this. I guess the different adjustments was the same numbers to the lottery. Yeah.
That was a great clue. And the reveal on that was awesome, too, because he tells Leon while they're having a party for him at his office. And, like, the way that he tells him, and, like, Leon has absolutely no reaction. Oh, he just tells one lie after the other. He goes, I gave this camera to Freddie. See, I taught him everything he knows about photography. He just tells one lie after another. He just... One thing that bothered me was while they're having their little hippie wake and Columbo sees the pictures of the monkey, how does he know at that time that those pictures are pertinent?
Well, I think because he remembers the monkey stealing his badge. Yeah. And then noticing the monkey seems to be attracted to gold medal. And so... I think that's... And then, of course, the costume that Leon was wearing is King George. He had this big medallion. I think that kind of added up.
Isn't that kind of tenuous, though? Isn't that like a big conclusion to come to? Like,
yeah.
Well, I guess no, it's just really clever. Maybe, yeah, I guess. I don't know what to think of that.
Well, yeah. But by the way, that's probably going to be the nail in the coffin for Leon. Was that stupid ass monkey?
Oh, of course, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why the monkey was in the episode in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
then we get treated to a visually beautiful scene. By the way, Nancy's taking a bubble bath. There are a couple of long shots there. Not going to complain.
She does this thing where she's in the bathtub and she's having a bubble bath and she's drinking a glass of white wine and she lifts up her leg. Yeah, because I always drink my wine in a bubble bath, you know?
After you raise your leg out of the tub.
Yeah, she raises her leg up and runs the glass of wine along her leg. And at this point, and she's talking on a cordless phone too, which I don't know. I just feel really awkward talking on a cordless phone in the bathtub. I know it probably can't kill you, but what if you drop it? You know?
I didn't even think of that. It's so funny. It's not like you have two twin brothers trying to drop a toaster in your tub or anything.
That would be an electric mixer there, Steve.
Was it a mixer? Was it a toaster?
It was an electric mixer.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, please.
Okay,
we're a Columbo podcast, for God's sake.
So yeah, Nancy tells Leon that she's handled Columbo, taken care of. Don't worry about it, and that she wants $2 million up front. Mm-hmm. And so that pisses off Leon. And I'm thinking at this point, okay, she's gonna be next.
Yeah,
Leon's gonna try to kill her, and that's where he's gonna mess up, right? But
yeah. No. Nothing happens with that. In fact, I got really frustrated with her in it at period because she really doesn't do anything to the story. I mean, it gives it a nice twist when she shows up at the crime scene and she kisses him and we realize that she's actually an accomplice. And of course she provides an alibi for him by calling from the scene of the crime. But other than that, she serves nothing in the story. When you come to think of it, she's fluff. She's merely padding to the story.
Oh, I think there's payoff here. I think we get some payoff.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now we're at the auction. I don't know what's with rich people in auctions.
It's only the second auction that we've seen in Columbo.
Oh, really? I don't know that. I haven't seen all these. So, okay. But, okay, he's buying jewelry at auction. That's a thing, I'm sure. Why not?
Yeah, sure. But something funny happens with it.
Oh, yeah, I like that Columbo is accidentally bidding on something. And Leon's like, are you bidding? He's not bidding. He doesn't give Columbo... I mean, Columbo could have been bidding. We don't know.
He sits down next to this lady, this old lady. He sits down behind Leon next to this older lady. And he says to her, I can't remember what he says, my wife once won an auction. She bid $80 for something made out of coffee cans. I can't remember what he says. And this woman just gives him this look.
Oh, no, he goes, you know what that's like, don't you? She goes, no, I don't.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. And this is wonderful.
Flat out. No, I
No,
guess, no. I have no idea.
And there's this wonderful shot of Leon with Columbo in the background where Columbo leans forward and whispers to him, we think that, your nephew's death was a murder. And Leon, trying to keep his composure, you can tell he's freaking out because he loses concentration. And Columbo, of course, says, he may as well have had a paper bag at this point. But it's not a paper bag.
He had a cardboard box, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Leon meets him in another room. They leave the auction and they go into another separate room. Yeah, and I love it when Leon's walking out of the auction room and you see one of the detectives. He's just talking to somebody and Columbo calls his attention. Jack, come on, and I like that. And I saw that box. I'm like, oh, there's the paper bag. This is gonna wrap up any second now.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually Leon's costume from the costume party with the medallion with the monkeys.
I like when they go into that separate room and Jack comes in. He's standing there. The other detective, Jack, is standing there with the box. And I like how, and I think it's intentional that Columbo says, Jack, you don't have to stand there holding that box. Go and put it down. And that draws Leon's attention to the box.
Oh.
I think to make him nervous. There's something in that box.
Huh.
No?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. You're right. It's all part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so, after he basically proves that Leon is the killer, he then goes through the whole explanation of the photos. Then they bring in Nancy, and
I love this scene.
They explain to her, he killed his nephew, and you're now going to inherit $24 million after taxes. And
yeah, was it really necessary after taxes? Is that really important?
Yeah. Well, it was. What was it? 30 or 35 million, and now it's 24 million.
It was. I actually wrote it down. It was $30,435,885.
Oh wow! I wonder how many we're going to rate this out of now.
Yeah. Yeah, that I wrote it down. Get your calculator ready, Sean.
So he just explodes and says, "You lying!" He calls her a bitch. That's right, you bitch. You lying bitch. That was my. I can't remember what he says exactly.
He called her a lying, treacherous bitch.
That's right.
Well, yeah, he plays them against each other because when she comes in, he welcomes Nancy into the room. He says, "Thank you for your cooperation," and so Leon thinks she's told them everything. And then at that point, Columbo then tells her, "You're going to inherit all this money after all," and that pisses Leon off so much that he rats her out.
Yeah, And then it concludes with Columbo and Jack talking about what he's going to get his wife, and he says he's going to take her camping.
That's romantic.
Unless you like camping, gentlemen, you don't take your ladies camping unless you know that they like camping. Ladies, they don't like that. They don't like that.
I wouldn't think so. Most probably don't.
No. I can tell you right now that my dad loved camping growing up as a kid. And he would go with his friends, and once in a while he would go with me. He took my mom with him one time, and he would be camping. I mean, we're not talking about parking your RV, 50 feet from someone else,
digging a hole in the ground, pooping in it, and covering it up, kind of camping.
Yeah, he would go to Minnesota, the up in the lakes, and bring a canoe, and you put all your stuff in the canoe. You canoe for an hour and find a campsite in the middle of the forest set up by the park rangers, and you camp there for a week. They got a wooden toilet out in the back, and that is
probably got black widow spiders in there, and God knows what else. Yeah, black bears.
Anyway, my mom went with him one time, and she swore she would never go camping with him again because when in the middle of the night she had to go pee, and my dad was asleep, of course, and she got up and. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about this, but my mom happened to have little to no clothing on, and when she climbed out of the tent, instantly she was attacked by a horde of mosquitoes.
I can't totally see that. like dinner.
She screamed, and she woke my dad up. And they went back in the tent, and they spent I don't know how long killing off all these mosquitoes that got into the tent, when she got up. So,
she was probably covered in bites, probably in places. Oh no, that's horrible.
So ever since then, she doesn't go camping anymore.
So back to Columbo.
I'm sorry, everybody. I've had a little bit of the grape over here.
A little Cassini wine there over there. Yeah.
No, I'm more like the Martino brothers. They don't make wine. They don't even make good mouthwash.
So, there were a lot of numbers thrown out in this episode, and I kept changing my mind. What am I going to use as the review number? So, obviously, the fun one would be the 30 mil one. 30,435,885. I thought that would be hilarious. I had to really throw Sean off his game there. I'm going
to predict which number you used, by the way, but keep on going.
There was also a $175,000 car. That intrigued me. There was a $425 lingerie that comes with a peignoir, and that was going to be part of the review. So what were you thinking? What number did you think I was going to pull?
I think that you're going to have me rate it 1 out of 1,527.
Nope. So tonight, Sean, I would like you to
that was the number
rate
on
this
the check, by the way.
1 out of 25. The silver anniversary of Mr. and the fake Mrs. Columbo.
Who went first last time? I can't remember.
You probably did. So 1 out of 25. I'm going to give this. It's really weird. I must have had a run-in with a bunch of really bad late Columbo episodes. I just didn't enjoy them. This one I really enjoyed. I thought the characters were great. I liked the twist where Nancy was secretly, that she was part of it. Rip Torn was great. I loved him as a villain. He was such a seedy SOB, especially.
Okay,
yeah.
Let me ask you this though: who's more evil, Dale Kingston or Leon Lamar?
Which one was Dale Kingston?
He was the one that in our last one that we did, suitable for framing.
Oh yes. I think Leon is.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I like, by the way. So the evidence for last episode we did was Columbo's fingerprints on the painting. This one was the monkey's fingerprints on the medallion. But anyways.
Ah, yes. Yes.
But yeah, no, Rip Torn was great. You really hated him, especially that scene where we discussed earlier about Columbo saying, "Oh, your nephew loved you so much," about the watch. He sold it because he needed the money. He obviously didn't want to go to his uncle for money. Felt bad about it, but he didn't want to give up the gift that he treasured. He didn't want to look bad in front of his uncle. And I honestly think there was a moment for that character where there must have been tremendous guilt at that point. Mm-hmm. I love the humor. There were some really funny scenes in it. There was a couple of things that fell flat, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I would give it a 23 out of 25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I really don't know why I hate the later ones so much, but the last few ones we've watched, I've given really high scores to.
Yeah, so. Even No Time to Die, the one that everybody hates, you enjoyed. But no, trust me, there's still some sucky ones out there that we haven't touched yet. So I'm going to give this, you know what, I pretty much agree with everything that you said, except I've got some more negative things to say about this. I always loved this episode. This is the one that I pulled off the shelf when my dad said that he wanted to watch Columbo. So I'm like, oh, this is a good one. I remember this one. But then when I had to watch it for this with more of a critical eye, I had some problems with it. Now, I actually agree with pretty much everything that you said. I think that Rip Torn played a great villain. There were some superb scenes between him and Peter Falk. However, the wife aspect of it really bothered me, and I wish either that he killed her or that she wasn't in the story at all. Uh-huh. No, really, because she serves absolutely no purpose in this story. And I don't like the ending like you did either. I think that...
I'm sorry, you did or did?
I don't like the ending like you did.
Oh, okay.
I think that, after he basically proves to Uncle Leon that he's the murderer, and then goes on to explain about the photos with the monkey and then brings her in. I like my Columbos to end like the last one we did. It's like suitable for framing. Like, here's the clue. I got you. Freeze frame.
Well, yeah, you know what? Now that you say that, there are a lot of clues, like the camera, the recording everybody, Freddie, actually Nancy making the call, but he says out loud, "Oh, Freddie!" That never comes up. Like, he never interviewed party guests saying, "Oh yeah, he was on the phone with his nephew."
It was never. Exactly. Yeah, it was never mentioned that Leon had an alibi for the time that he set up the murder to be. So, and I had a problem with that. I felt as if there was something that they cut out, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
But at the same time, it felt as if it was padded. There's this whole subplot involving she hasn't signed the divorce decree yet, and she calls Leon and tells him about it, and they have a little argument over the phone. And I felt that was all padding. And so although I still like it, I'm not going to rate it as high as you. I'm going to give it as 18 out of 25. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Now, would you have rated it higher if the part of Leon would have been played by Rip Taylor instead of Rip Torn? I would have given it a 30 out of 25.
When Universal hires me to do, the remastering, I'm going to have an alternate version on the disc where you can actually play it, and there will be a CSI. Oh God, no,
CGI.
CGI. God, I'm turning into my grandmother. A CGI. I'm going to CGI Rip Taylor in.
I'm going to turn it into a VCR. Go on. Sorry.
No, my grandma really does. She calls DVDs. She calls it a DVS.
As long as she doesn't call it PMS, I guess that's probably that's a bonus. Anyways, go on. I'm sorry. No,
so
you're gonna digitally add Rip Taylor's face over Rip Torn's body.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and then
will you keep the voice? Will you keep the?
No. I will hire Rip Taylor Or if he's dead, I'll hire someone who sounds like him to do the voice.
Can you do an impersonation of Rip Taylor?
I cannot remember how Rip Taylor talks. I
can think is just the tissue coming out of his sleeves. Oh, with glitter. Doesn't he the one that shoots glitter? He has it in his pockets and he just throws it in the air.
Yeah.
And the thing about glitter,
I fucking hate
everywhere.
Glitter. Yeah, fucking hate glitter. I hate it.
I bet you his car, his clothes, his wig are probably just covered in glitter.
I bet you he can't wear contacts because you can. Well, it's not technically glitter. It's confetti. He throws confetti.
Oh, is it confetti? I thought it was glitter. Yeah.
Rip Taylor is kind of like a human Muppet. You know, it's like he's like, is that a real person? Is that like a thing that's still funny? Yeah. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Death Hits. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, and I just want to say, I don't know if some conversations get put on the cutting room floor because you produce and edit this podcast, but I watch typically these with my daughter, and she told me, she goes, "Did you realize we've been watching Columbo for almost a year now?" So you got this for me for my birthday. It wasn't my last, but the year before. So I've been watching Columbo for a year now. Isn't that incredible?
Wow. Huh.
And how long have we been doing this podcast?
And we're not even, I don't know, I'd have to stop and look. But yeah, we're not even halfway through too. And you're not tired of it yet.
No. Huh. No, as evident by as high as I rated it this episode tonight.
Well, I think I have a theory on that. I think it's easy to be a fan of Columbo because it's kind of like going to McDonald's when you're on vacation. Okay. It's security. You know, you know what you're going to get, and you're never disappointed. You know what the formula is going to be every single time, and it's just a different riff on the same formula. And I think that we as humans, as consumers, kind of like that. You know, we're comfortable with that part of us, I think. So,
well, I look forward every weekend to watching another one. And I always hope that it's an episode I haven't seen yet. Yeah. I thoroughly enjoy watching these things and discussing them. So,
and we got 2 of the 3 of the weird ones out of the way.
2 of the 3, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Right. Okay, so we got
any feedback?
Email.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we got an email.
Oh God, is it calling us out again?
No. In fact,
good.
It's entitled "A Wee Bit of Praise." It's incredibly racist. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it? I don't even know what that's.
That's how a wee bit of praise. A wee bit of praise. That's like an Irish. A wee bit of praise.
Oh, okay.
This is from a lady named Jen. Okay. She says, "Okay, kids, brace yourselves. I'm here to lavish you with some praise." I always feel rather masturbatory when I read these emails sometimes. I wish we got some more mean ones. Anyway, she goes, "I'm a huge Columbo nerd, first off. Also, I'm a big fan of the Scottish Columbo cast. You two are a welcome addition to the Columbo fan discussion land, and I'll tell you why I'm now listening to you instead of the Scottish one."
Wow.
The Scottish one is called the Columbo Podcast, by the way. Well, obviously, the main reason is that you're new and still going, whereas the Scots have already covered all episodes but have moved on to other shows. But, one, I like your dynamic. It's fun to listen to you, though once in a while there's a big volume change, which is hard on the old earphones. That's because Steve makes me yell sometimes. I'm sorry. She says, "I like the ongoing Mrs. Columbo conspiracy theory and debunking of the same, and the bits of trivia and the plot analyses. Mrs. Columbo does exist, by the way." That was her, not me, that said that. Number 2, I really like the random ep generator idea, and that you switch between the 70s and the 90s episodes each time. It's exciting and fun to see which will be next. Yay! I actually agree 100%. I love doing the random generator, because right now I'm excited because I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. And all I know is it's going to be a 70s one. I'm like, wow. Is it going to be Patrick McGowan? Will we finally get a Jack Cassidy? I don't know. Anyway, nice job, and I look forward to continuing to listen. Signed, Jen. And then she says, "Oh, just one more thing." I recently rewatched excellent Wim Wenders' film Wings of Desire. Peter Falk playing himself is just delightful. Peter Falk, and at one point, a group of guys walks by Falk on the street. One of them says, "Hey, is that Columbo?" The other replies, "No, it couldn't be. Not with that worn-out coat." Then they all laugh. Just adorbs. Signed, Jennifer.
Oh, that's nice. Yay. Restores my faith in humanity.
So, a fun fact here, Jen is the author of Stage Combat, Fisticuffs, Stunts, and Swordplay for theater and film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She did not say that, but she had a link as part of her signature block, and that brought me... I'm assuming she's the author of that. Either that or she just really likes the book and wants people to read it. But, yeah, very interesting. So,
awesome.
All right, Steve. With that, it's time to spin the swinging wheel of the 70s.
All right, let me put my hips into it.
And we are going to watch...
Yours.
We are going to watch... Hey, Steve, are you, do you like Robert Conrad?
Who is that?
Do you like your woman big? Or do you like them slim?
Okay.
Steve, do you like shoes and telephones? Because, Steve, we're gonna talk about an exercise in fatality next.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Seen that one. Yep.
That's slightly disappointed because you've already seen it, but okay. Yeah. All right, so that will be next time. In the meantime, enjoy yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, and be good to each other. And I don't know what else to say because I'm just stuttering here, but good night, everybody.
So long, old buddy.
Thank you for listening to the Columbo Confab podcast. To email us with a comment or question, write to columboconfab@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter @columboconfab, and look for us on Facebook. If you're enjoying the show, please leave us some happy reviews on iTunes.
I love clues.
Hello, I'm Sean, and I'm the host of the 1001 Movies podcast, based on the book 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. Each episode, I randomly pick a film from the book and spend about 10 minutes talking about its director, the cast, the genre, and my personal thoughts on the merits of the film. Each delicious yet bite-sized episode contains information about a film from practically any genre, any country, or any year. Check us out on iTunes, and we'll send you free cookies. Some restrictions apply.